I'm a huge handheld Castlevania fan. The console version's not so much. So when I decided to make this video, I pushed Soul of Darkness to the top of the list. According to what I saw, it's a $5 Castlevania clone that's actually good. I had huge expectations going in, and believe it or not, they were all met. To get the obvious out of the way, this is literally just Castlevania. Vampires exist, you go into a castle, and then someone who totally isn't Dracula steals your wife or girlfriend or friend with benefits, and then you have to fight your way through a bunch of enemies to get her back. Like I said, it's Castlevania. But Soul of Darkness copies all the right things. The gameplay is pretty much a clone of every other GBA or DS Castlevania, though you will find a few things like critical hits and an upgrade system. There was something lost in translation though. The movement. This is very minor in the grand scheme of things, it just took some time getting used to. Instead of holding right to walk and double tapping right to run, it's more momentum based. You hold right and you start off at a walk, then a second later begin running. For any Castlevania veterans, this will result in missed jumps early on because it's completely foreign. But once I got used to it, you know what? It was Castlevania. Getting into what Soul of Darkness does differently, instead of one giant continuous castle, you play several smaller levels and some are capped off by boss fights, though not all disappointingly. It's $5, so I can't exactly blame them for going in this direction. Something I preferred over Castlevania is the amount of environment interactivity. You're constantly breaking down chandeliers to crash down onto enemies or using your magic to break a ledge so you can climb down. And while a lot of the enemies look like they were copied from Castlevania, there's still a good amount of variety. And I guess I should mention the DSi camera feature. At certain points you can use the camera to take a picture of something. Whatever that something's color, you unlock a crystal that can increase your health or magic. Problem is, the 3DS camera sucks and I never got it to work. But it's there if you want to give it a try. The upgrade system in Soul of Darkness is handled absolutely perfectly. Instead of behind the scenes damage boosts that don't impact gameplay, now your combos have more hits or your Ice Spear fires 3 instead of 1. For a $5 game that came out 12 years ago, the amount of detail placed into the upgrades is amazing. While Soul of Darkness isn't terribly long, the 10 levels take roughly 10 minutes each to beat, they do mix things up from time to time. One level has you flying on a weird bird thing, dodging and slashing enemies. There's also moments where you have to ascend up an elevator, again, dodging and slashing enemies. Plus, the Ice Spear is used to solve puzzles, and you're given the ability to transform into a few different enemies to progress through certain levels. It's astounding how much Gameloft was able to do with Soul of Darkness, and for only $5. As for gripes, they're very minor. The story is lackluster and standard fare for the genre, the 3DS's camera detection never worked for me, and I wish it was twice as long because I was enjoying it so much. But that's it. For all intents and purposes, this is a $5 Castlevania game. If you missed the franchise as much as I do, and the Advanced Collection on Switch left you wanting more, here you go. It'd be an understatement to say the level of quality far exceeded my expectations. Soul of Darkness earns its spot in S tier, and as someone who rarely replays games, I will definitely beat Soul of Darkness on hard mode in the future.